Voting is a sacred and important part of our democratic system. However, we don't actually elect our presidents directly. Instead, through the Electoral College, we vote for representatives who will cast a vote for the president, which is a form of indirect voting. Each state has its own number of electoral votes depending on the population. One problem that the Electoral College can cause is that a candidate can become president without winning the popular vote, such as George Bush in 2000. A candidate must simply get 270 electoral votes, regardless of how much the population votes for him. This event has raised concerns that the Electoral College is a flawed voting system to elect a president. The supporters of this argument maintain that if the Electoral College can defy the people's will, then it defies the principles of democracy, which are liberty and self-determination. The opponents of the Electoral College would like to see a direct voting system implemented. On the contrary, the Electoral College does in fact represent the people's will. While they are right to argue that the popular vote does not directly influence the election, the Electoral College does force all candidates to tour the entire country. North Carolina, Florida, Ohio, and Virginia are examples of states that were decided by less than 5% of the vote in the 2012 election. States such as these ensure that the entire country is represented in the polls, as these states could swing either way. Direct population votes, on the other hand, would force candidates to focus on large population areas, such as San Francisco and New York. San Francisco's population of over 800,000 would be much more important than less populous areas, leaving those out. Minorities would also be severely hurt by direct elections. Asians make up about 4.8% of the US population, while Caucasians make up about 72%. Candidates could simply ignore the Asian voters and still become elected. Through the Electoral College, however, minority groups are often given more power, often enough to swing a vote. For example, many Asians live in California, which has 55 votes, so Asians could potentially swing a vote in favor of a candidate. Once again, in a direct vote, these minorities would be almost ignored during elections, whereas the Electoral College allows them to exercise their right to vote. The Electoral College is really another representation of the people's vote, just filtered so that the entire country will be taken into account when it comes to campaigning.